Hello, YouTube. How you doing? Alexa, pause music. I forgot to turn off the music. Um, Alexa, pause music. I don't know if you can hear that. Alexa, music off. That bitch. Okay. I'm fighting with Alexa again. Hello, how's it going? My name is Janessa, and I'm North Dakota's Trash Queen of Glam, Geek, and Gore. Here I am once again in the lovely Champagne Dreams Productions branch office. Hello, Janet. Hello, Dawn. It already did the spinny thing, so I know the audio is going to be effed up again. That is my lot in life. I don't know what was going on. Yes, Dawn, I decided to go live tonight. I was in the office doing some cleaning and stuff, and I still have shrapnel everywhere from the red look from Wednesday, and so everything is covered. Like my poor blend bunny, the outside just has all kinds of red goobers all over it, so I'm trying to clean stuff off. And hello, Grace, how's it going? But I thought I would come on and just chat. I just was in a chatty mood. I don't know. I've had kind of a low key day today. I was doing some stuff at home and then I came to the office and I've just been fiddling and trying to make some like plans and to do lists and things because things have been a little crazy and I have been a little bit overwhelmed. And so I just was like trying to make like a to-do list for all the things I needed to remember for work and all the like different projects and what's going on. Grace is just watching your video talking about your husband. Ooh, Grace has another video out. Very exciting. Let's see. I get very easily distracted. But this necklace I want to put away. Let's see. There we go. A little Janessa J necklace can go back into the thing. I'm editing the new Navitus fragrance video. Ooh, okay. Everything sounds fun. Hello, Dion. How's it going? Yeah, just kind of like in a little bit of a chatty mood, but also a little bit of just kind of like a bleh mood lately. I don't know. Things have been so crazy. Dion's about to eat lunch. Well, welcome. We're glad that you joined us. I never know I do these Saturday Night Lives every once in a while, and I'm never really sure if anybody is going to join. So I'm always very excited when people do stop by because it's very nice. Just gonna put some stuff away. Don't forget the next Wacky Wednesday, this coming up Wednesday, is gonna be metallic gold. And we might work in a couple of the other metallic colors with that. So it'll be wild and woolly. It'll be exciting to see how everything turns out. Just trying to get some of the. What is that from? So I have a bunch of these. Is this content me just like looking away? Hell, I'm not the best. Someone trying to take me out at work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Janet. That is not fun when somebody is plotting against you. I have a bunch of these focaler sticks, and the problem is that like the lids don't stay on. So now I'm looking at I've got this lid and I don't see where the actual foundation stick that it belongs to. Here it is. Okay, there we go. Plus the white one was missing the lid. Okay, let's put that back. Perfect. Hello. Kamala votes. Mega, you're just saying words, Teflon Don. I don't know what's happening. Like, I don't, if you could form a full, complete sentence, we'd be happy. I mean, I can guess from what you're saying. Kamala votes mega. Like that's. I'm pretty sure I know where you're coming from, and it's probably the wrong way down a one-way street. But you know what? Cultists have the internet too. So yeah, there's like 1% pink left. It's definitely. I'm just kind of keeping it, and I was like, it's turning into sort of almost like a different sort of platinum blonde. And so I was like, it's just got that light little soft bit of pink. And I was like, you know what? I kind of enjoy it. So I'm trying to decide. I may do another color or I I did get a haircut, and so I'll probably wait for a little while to bleach it, but the next time I bleach it, I may just leave it blonde, or I may try to do another color. What do we feel about, should I keep these weird little half lashes that I cut from those Blend Bunny lashes? I just was going wild. I was wild and out and cutting up lashes and just a whisper of pink. Do you hear that, Mr. Rose? I think it was a whisper of desire. Anybody a Schitt's Creek? Anybody a Schitt's Creek fan? Yeah, I think I'll keep those half lashes because I've always thought about doing half lashes on the bottom. I used to do bottom lashes more, and when they worked, they looked really, really good. And when they didn't work, they looked real terrible. So I stopped doing them for the most part, but I would be interested in maybe doing them again. Some lukewarm Mountain Dew. I brought some soda to the office to refill the fridge, and it hasn't had time to fully cool down yet. So, cool whip, cool, just a whisper of desire. More foundations out of the way. Let me throw those in here. Yeah. With the heavy H. Yes. So glad you're on tonight. Well, thank you, Janet. I wanted to come on because I'm just feeling a type of way, and I'm trying to figure out because I think my video about Victoria Jackson is changing because I had mentioned in a previous live that I was thinking about doing a live about the Victoria Jackson difference, Victoria Jackson cosmetics. I was obsessed. I don't think anybody else, there was maybe one person that remembered, excuse me, pretty girl, when Victoria Jackson used to have infomercials selling her makeup. What, Don? Not cool whip. Yes. Yes. That like hardly anybody remembered Victoria Jackson and her like makeup infomercials. I was obsessed. I was obsessed. And of course, now we live in a weird time where everything is available everywhere. Not everything, but like more stuff than you would ever think has, like stuff that you wouldn't think would still be around is somewhat still around. And so I found some Victoria Jackson cosmetics on eBay. And so in addition to that, I also have two versions of the VHS tape. Um, this one this one is from 1989 and this one is from 1999. So I'm interested. I have like I haven't actually tried it, so I don't know how it works, but I have like a VHS converter, like one of those things that you can put a VHS into. And I don't know if it creates a computer file. I don't know if it creates a DVD. I need to look at it more. I got it from my uncle. He's a little bit of a technology hoarder. And so he had all this. I was saying how I didn't have a VHS player, not that I had a ton of VHS, but and he's like, oh, and I was like, I've always wanted. He's like, I've got one of those, and he goes and gets one from his like collection of stuff. And then I was like, yeah, I need to find something. I would like to have some of these like on a DVD or even upload on my YouTube channel. And he's like, I have something for that, and he goes and gets it and sent me home with these two like things, and I just haven't done anything with them. So I do have the two versions of the tape. I do have two versions. I don't know if there were other versions, but those are two that I found. Hello, CJ. How's it going? How do I not remember this? I must have went to bed early during those years. Yeah, I was always up late. I was a night owl. And so I was always up watching like Saturday Night Live, but then I would be up after, and that's where I would see things like I don't know if anybody else remembers Cleopatra 2525. I was a little bit obsessed with Cleopatra 2525. Love it. Grace, what do you think of the napkins? We're talking about the fragrance. Hello, Tanya. How's it going? Yeah, so we have so like Cleopatra 2525, I feel like they would run like Xena and Hercules would sometimes be on, or there would be infomercials. And the infomercial that I saw that I was always obsessed with was Victoria Jackson Cosmetics. And I loved Victoria Jackson. I loved the idea of it. I was super into it. And I always like, I look back now and I'm like, that was, because now I look at it and I'm like, it was only like $100 or like 90 some bucks, or because it would be like three payments of $29.95. So it's $90 or whatever, and then shipping was included. Of course, $100, $90 in like 90s money is so different from what it is today. Not that that's cheap today, but it's definitely I had a Rain Man one. Definitely a different sort of situation. So I had found some things that I ordered on, but now I remember Cleopatra 25. I loved Cleopatra 25. And it had, what is that actress's name? Is it Gina Torres, who's been on so many things? She was on Firefly. She was in Angel. I don't think she was anything on Buffy. I think she just showed up in Angel, but she was frequently collaborating with like Joss Whedon and stuff like that. But she was in that. Xena's on Sundays when I go home. On Sundays, Xena's on. I love that. Yeah, so I ordered some Victoria Jackson stuff. Now, this is something that I was never in the infomercial because after there was the infomercials for a while, and then there was also she started doing like QVC or whatever. And I think Gina Torres may have shown up on Xena. She did a lot of those kind of like CW esque shows. Not all of them were CW, but you know what I mean, like the Buffy and Angel and Xena and Hercules and all those kind of shows. Um, so yeah, I love Gina Torres. I love her. So yeah, I wanted it, but it wasn't really catered to deeper. Yes, that was one thing I noticed as I went through, like, and I will say, and that's something I'm going to talk about in the video too. Is like she was kind of like the stuff that she was doing is kind of in line with a lot of what we see now with where there's a lot of these like skin tints and a lot of people are not doing the like full coverage makeup. Like, get out of here with that. I'm a full coverage industrial application. I need house paint basically. But yeah, she was very much about doing these like skin tint. You had these little like um two different shades of like a semi-sheer like cream foundation and a compact. This must have been once you moved to QVC. This was called a survival kit. This little thing, and it's a little fun like travel thing. I had never seen this before, but when I was searching for Victoria Jackson, I found this, and it's kind of fun. I forced my husband to watch all Doctor Who and all Xena. I love that. I haven't watched any of the classic Doctor Who. I remember that I would sometimes see Doctor Who when I was up way too late, if like there wasn't a Victoria Jackson commercial or there wasn't a Xena on. Sometimes there would be classic Doctor Who, and so I saw an episode. I just remembered I saw an episode that featured Perry as a companion. Now I've watched all of like New Who, but I have not seen like I haven't actively watched old Doctor Who. Hello from New Zealand, Kiwi Derek. Hello. No, all Doctor Who. Yes, so I haven't watched any of the classic. I've just watched the new, but I've seen a few episodes randomly. Um, yeah, so here you can see there's a little mirror. It's kind of a little fold apart thing. And then there are two pencils. So there is a lip pencil, kind of a brown lip pencil. And these are all, I mean, 30 ish, going between 30, 40 years old. There's that. Hello, Michael. I never watched any of the Doctor Who episodes. I really like New Who. I think that it's kind of fun. I think that it gets a little weird sometimes, but it's fun and goofy and has some good moments. There's this ancient mascara. Will not be putting that on the eyes. And then there are these little like pull-out trays. So there's this mirror, and then you can flip it, and there's another mirror, but then your blushes are right here. And that's the only thing on here. Oh no, there is a oh, and then there's little mini brushes in this part. And then on this side, this is where there are 5 lip colors. So 5 little trays of lip colors. Hello, Michael Parrish, you have returned. Parrish, sorry. So there are 5 little lip colors. And then there's 2 little trays of eyeshadow. Oops, I got the lips again. And one of them is 5 matte shades, and then there are 5 shimmer shades. That mascara is in the way. So let me move that out of the way. So there are 5 little shades. And then we have those 5 shades. So very, very basic. I mean, she's very, very like no makeup, natural look kind of girly. Like that's who Victoria Jackson is for. So that I thought was just kind of cool because I found this thing that I had never. Sorry, my bones and joints are too painful. No problem, CJ. No, we're just glad to have you here. No worries at all. So let me try to fold that back up because so this was fun because I had never seen one of these before, and so I had a little fun. Yeah, it's like Laura Geller. It's very that. It's very like woman on the go for the and for the 80s it was very toned down. She was definitely going against the grain of the kind of brighter, wilder makeup trends of the 80s. And yeah. So let's go into because then I also found somebody who was selling basically, they didn't have the cards, they didn't have the tape, but I think they had all of the like makeup items that came in like an introductory kit. So like one of the color kits from Victoria Jackson, it was all still in the box, also in the little boxes. And I was just excited because I remember watching that infomercial and just being a little bit obsessed with it and being a little bit obsessed with like this like makeup club that you could join and you get refills. Like there was something about it that just. Hello, Tina. Yes, we're on a little bit late tonight. I was just working around the office, just puttering around, working on some stuff, and decided to come on. Recently, my housemate found Beauty and the Beast graphic novels in the basement from their TV series with Linda Hamilton. Interesting. I remember that. I never watched it, but I remember seeing commercials for that. So, let's take a look at some of these. So, this is the light powder. I don't know, you probably can't even, it's probably not going to focus. But so, this was the face powder. And you can see it's in this little, like, sleek black compact. Now, this does feel maybe a little bit heavier than what I remember of like drugstore makeup of that time, like makeup that my mom had or makeup that I saw. It feels a little bit heavier, but it definitely is like the very simplistic packaging, very rounded corners. I felt like there was a lot of that. And they kept the little like plastic inserts. So there is this mirror has degraded over the years, but here you can see this still has the little plastic piece, and there is a little like etching of the Victoria Jackson logo. And then there's this powder puff that came with it. So that is the face powder. And then we have, where's the foundation? So here's the foundation. This was in light. I'm trying to remember to use draw through texting instead of clomp, clomp, clomp. I love that. I don't even know what draw through texting is. I think I have an idea of what it might be, but I'm so not computer. Savvy. So this is the light foundation. Those are the two shades. And again, this is like a cream to powder finish. This has not been used. This is the first time I just put my finger into it and you can see like it just kind of is a little creamy sort of foundation. And they had four different shades. So there were eight foundation shades, two shades to a compact, four different options. There was light, medium, tan, and deep. And not particularly inclusive, but it did have for the shades that were there. There was a fair amount of like a gradient, you could say, but yeah, it wasn't super. There wasn't a lot of thought to the foundation. Oh, there's an odd smell. Are you a homosexual? Hello, Bones. Why are you trying to ask me out on a date? Like, I am not. We're not here for that. This is find me on Tinder. I don't know what to tell you. The letters to spell. Oh, interesting. I love that. Hey, Bones, who isn't? Exactly. The world is homosexual. I love it. Now, the sponge that came with it has like hardened over the years. So it's like, it's hard. It's weird. It's an odd kind of thing, but it does still have the sponge. And those were untouched until I put my big old fingers into them right here. So you got to see the first time they were touched. But so that is the foundation. And then you got a lip compact, an eyeshadow compact, and a blush compact. And then you also got four pencils. So there are I'm not going to open the pencils because there's a red lip pencil because this was the Reds kit. So also when it launched, there were three different kits you could choose from, which were peaches, pinks, and reds. Show us your titties. No, you have to pay in advance for that. My PayPal and my Venmo are linked in the description box. So if you want to send me some dollars, I will show you my titties. But that's going to be a minimum of four four figures before the decimal point. So minimum. You can choose your own amount, but it's a minimum of four figures before the decimal if you want to see some titties. Um, so we've got black, taupe, and brown for the pencils. Um, and so we've got those. And then there's a red lip pencil. So there's peaches, pinks, and reds. And they did expand later. And that's one thing. Oh dear. Oh, Bones, you have to go. We're not going to be talking about dicks in jars. Thank you very much. So let's get rid of you because you are trash. All right, so let's take a look. So those are the pencils. Now we have the color. This is the fun, the color complexion. The color cosmetics, the complexion stuff is not as fun, but so let's look at the blushes first. So again, we have a lovely little compact. And we have two blushes. What I find very interesting is that for the Reds kit, so like it's called the Reds kit, but everything was meant to coordinate and go together. And so with red, they had these pink blushes, which I think is very interesting. So these light kind of bubblegummy pink. This is almost like ballet slipper pink, and then this to go with like a red lip, and then the colors in the eyeshadow I think are very interesting as well. So that's the blushers, which I love that it says blusher on the package. And maybe more things used to say blusher like in the 80s or whatever. Because to me, when I hear blusher, that's such a like British. Usually when influencers are British, that's where I hear people saying blusher. Because I know that that's still like a very common term in the UK is to refer to things as blusher. Um, but maybe it used to be more of a term here. The taxidermy. The messages must be held from the side to not see those. Sorry, I have to deal with that now. Oh, that's yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It didn't tell me that they were held for review, but yeah, it was Bones. Now they're deleted because we got rid of him. So if you have it set to, if you don't have it set to all messages, you might have missed it as well. Because it doesn't tell me they were held for review, but it could have been. Um, just think, as opposed to high quality, high end exclusive makeup. Yeah, blusher. I haven't heard that for years. Um, Supposed to be high quality, high end. Like this stuff is supposed to be high end. Yeah, and I look at it and I'm like, the packaging does feel heavier, but like this feels like something I would see at Avon, right? Like I remember Avon quads that looked like this, CoverGirl quads that looked like this. And so these are the eyeshadows. If you liked a red lip, if you were like a reds kit, then these were the colors. You got like a pink, a purple, a blue, and then this kind of charcoal gray. Charcoal gray. I think they probably described that as a black. Get right the fuck out of here. That is a charcoal gray. If you're calling that a black, charges will be filed. That shadow. I'm not gonna swatch it right this moment, but that oh, does it say the colors on here? No. And this was before the internet. So all this stuff, it was like a membership and you would get stuff like every 3 months or something. And then you could either get the same kit and get restocked on it, or you could get different kits. And so you could get the peaches and then the pinks or whatever. Um, I ordered 14 palettes very recently and there are more than I want. I'm on a little bit of a shopping hiatus this month. We've been shopping too much, so we're trying to cut it back. I'm getting ready to go on my big photo shoot excursion that I do every summer, and so we're reining it in. But Blend Bunny is teasing another new thing. God damn it! It was one thing when it was just the Dollhouse that was being re-released. I was like that. I'm not in as much of a hurry, but now it looks like there might be a new collection coming from Lin Money, like May Pang Volume 2. I have done. Oh God, I feel so bad. I have filmed a Get Ratchet with me with the Morphe, those Chroma, the big and the small ones, ages ago, and I just haven't edited it. It just hasn't come out yet. So I do. I did a whole Get Ratchet with me look using Morphe products. So here is the lip palette, and this one looks a little bit different. For some reason, this has the lines on it. I love their packaging, and their relaunch has been really good, actually. Like there's been, excuse me, pretty girl. There's been some really good stuff from Morphe. I'm impressed. The new brush line that they kind of first came back with are pretty good. Are they singe brushes? No. Are they rougher brushes? I've never tried rougher, but I would say no. But they're good and they're fairly inexpensive. They're not as cheap as they used to be, but they're definitely inexpensive. And they've had a lot of winners. They've had a lot of good stuff. Do you like the Morphe palettes, Genesis? The looks I've seen are beautiful. They're okay. They're not, they're kind of like Morphe palettes used to be, is that like sometimes when it hits, it's pretty good. And then if it's meh, it's just kind of meh. None of them were terrible, terrible, but they're just like, there's stuff that I'm like, I'm never going to go to this first, but I like the look that I did. I'll try to maybe edit that one. That'll be one of the next videos. I've had a lot of Get Ratch with me, so I haven't done that one yet, but maybe I will try to do one so we can get it out. So here is the lip palette. And what I like about this, what I think is fun, is I remember them always talking about the fact so that like 3 of these are cream lipsticks, and this is a powder lipstick, which I think is just a fancy way of saying it's like an eyeshadow. But it's just kind of like this. And again, these are like 30-ish years, 30 plus years old. It was supposed to give your lips like extra shimmer if you put it on top, but it just kind of feels like, yeah, it's got a little bit of shine to it, but it just kind of feels sort of like an eyeshadow, maybe a slightly different texture, but you could put that over top of the other colors and get, that's awesome. No, it's probably sad how likely is it they still disappoint me. Yeah, you never really know. Who did you order from? Like, who are some places that you ordered from? Who's going to disappoint you? Um, oh, Tanya, I don't either, but I saw a couple people using them. Then I went on, and I just think I also got sucked in by the packaging on those Morphe eyeshadow palettes is really pretty. They do look somewhat like, I know that Dion has called out before that they look kind of like the MAC Connect in color. And there is some similarity. They definitely are a different sort of style. They're not exactly the same, but close enough for government work. Like it's pretty similar. And so I thought it was kind of interesting that yeah, that the packaging. But I think the packaging is really nice. The packaging is really cute. Um, yeah, so there's my little Victoria jacket. So we may add some. There are some people who have individual pieces. And I know that in the second version of the infomercial, they started talking about how, in addition to the peaches, pinks, and reds, they had other color kits that you could choose from. So they had expanded out the line. So it wasn't just those 3 lines. Obviously, if you're trying to get people to like subscribe and get it every 3 months, you got to offer some options. And like some of the individual pieces that I've seen, because usually like those, everything in there, it'll say like eyeshadow, the reds, even though there was no red eyeshadow, but it was all the eyeshadows that go with the red kit. So like the red lipstick kit. And so like it was peaches, pinks, and reds were the original, but I've seen like an eyeshadow palette that was called Noon. And I was like, so we went with peaches, pinks, red, and noon. And then there's a set that's called Beautiful Naturals, which just makes me laugh because if you've seen, what is it? Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Carol Kane, she gets Artie, I think is his name. She gets this boyfriend who is like a grocery store magnate, and he's like trying to build a grocery store in their neighborhood, and she doesn't want the neighborhood to get doesn't want it to get gentrified, and so she's like protesting against it and ends up joining the city council. And his grocery store chain is called Beautiful Naturals, and one of the things that he says in the meeting is he's like, we'll offer free what was it, like free shuttle buses for perverts who think it's the gentleman's club, Beautiful Naturals. And so it was just kind of ridiculous and fun, but I liked it. So that's what Beautiful Naturals made me think of. I have 50 children. Help me. They're barking. Well, I don't know how to help you with that, Kenzie. I'm just a mouthy drag queen on the internet talking about makeup. Hello, Ellie Mae. How's it going? How is morning in the UK? Hope things are going well with you. Yes, yes, yes. Finished the Mountain Dew. So yeah, so I'm as once I got that in because I've had like Victoria Jackson has lived rent free in my mind since I was a preteen. Like I was obsessed with that, and then now like I get it in, and like I said, the packaging's maybe um, a little bit more um a little bit more impressive than a lot of like maybe drugstore or other things that I would have encountered at that time. But it's just like regular everyday gal on the go makeup. It's not big drag makeup, it's not theatrical makeup. It's just like a coordinated makeup kit for somebody who wants a like work a day everyday makeup look. So why was I so obsessed with this? What was it about this? And that's what I'm going to try to figure out for the video. And the more I've been like playing around with it, the more I'm like, is this going to turn into one of those like my first Barbie wasn't a Barbie videos? Like, am I going to be unpacking some queer childhood trauma about Victoria Jackson makeup? Because I think that there was something about what it represented more than the actual products themselves. It's good as the Tate brothers have been arrested. Yes, I saw that. I saw that they have been arrested. Very exciting news. Good for them. Yeah, there's definitely a nostalgia, but I'm like, why was I so drawn to it as a kid? Like, what was it that like? And it was all of the like. Let me tell you, it was like Lisa Hartman and Allie McGraw and Meredith Baxter, all of the like people who ended up being like Nick at Night, like because I would watch some like what was Meredith Baxter on with Michael J. Fox? What was that called? Not All in the Family. Had family in it. Family Ties. Did you see the gerbil working overtime spinning the wheel to try to get that? I don't know why I couldn't remember Family Ties, but I should be tested probably. But yeah, Family Ties, like Meredith Baxter from Family Ties, and they're just talking about how lovely this is, and then like all of and just like the way there's something about it that was so put together and like everything is coordinated, everything is curated, everything is done for you, and I think there's something about that that has to do with. I mean, I was one of those kids that like never really like fit in, and I couldn't. This is something that I've tried to elaborate in many different ways. Is that I always felt like there was some sort of like gender rule book that every other kid just had. And I, for some reason, never got it, never got a copy, was not on the reading list. And I never figured it out. And I was always doing it wrong. And so I think there's even something a little bit about Victoria Jackson. Like it just felt like so, not even just that it was like glamorous and it was like beautiful. And I was kind of like interested in makeup and theater and all this kind of stuff anyway. But also just the like, everything made sense is like, if you just have this kit, then everything will make sense. Everything will be in its place. Everything will be the way it's supposed to be. Everything fits in. Everything is right. And I was just like, oh, I had never really experienced that. And so having this, the idea of this kit, and it just became this like obsession. And it was one of those things that if I caught that infomercial, I could not turn it off. Like I had to watch it. So if it was 2:30 in the morning, I was up till 3. If it was 3:30 in the morning, I was up till 4 because I had to finish it or whatever. Maybe I'll make Victoria go viral. Well, and that's the thing is I want to bring it back to talk about things because she has a new brand now. And so I was like, I think maybe when I do the video, so it'll be a little ways out because again, I'm on this kind of little bit of a shopping moratorium, but she has a new brand called No Makeup Makeup. and it's kind of a similar sort of thing. It's like a cream skin tinty kind of foundation that comes with a brush, and it's very like it's very simple. But the lipsticks are like I looked at the website and I think the lipsticks are like $46 or something. Like ridiculous. Ridiculous. See, and I never saw infomercials for Bare Minerals or It Cosmetics. I don't know. The only makeup infomercial I ever saw was Victoria Jackson. I never saw any of those other ones. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the time that I was actually like looking. Yeah, 46 for a lipstick, which if you're like a Tom Ford or a Dior, maybe. I mean, they charge more than that, but like 46 for I need to go and check the price. I probably am smack talking or whatever, but I know that it was like expensive. And so I was looking at it, I was like, well, maybe I'll try to get because they had some bundles that you saved a little bit of money. So I was like, well, maybe I'll try to get a bundle where maybe I'll try like a foundation and a blush and a lipstick. Like maybe we'll try something like that. And we've got the old Victoria Jackson. I'm like Aaron Parsons, where I'm like, don't do what I'm doing. I'm about to put this 30-year-old expired makeup on my face. But yeah, so I think we're gonna have so once I get my hands on that no makeup stuff, probably once my bonus comes in at the end of August, then I will maybe look at ordering something from No Makeup Makeup. But yeah, so I think we'll do something where we do a little bit of playing with some of the new and some of the old of Victoria Jackson. I'll put some of the clips in because I can't imagine there's much like copyright enforcement for a 35-year-old makeup instruction VHS that has never been available anywhere else but on that tape. So I'm probably going to have some clips and things from that because other people have put it up on YouTube, and so I can grab it from them and or download it somewhere else. But so we'll probably have some. I think it'll be fun. I think it could be kind of a kooky, fun video. So I hope people like it when it comes out. Speaking of luxury, some of the new Marc Jacobs does look nice. I have been trying to do as little shopping on Sephora as possible. I'm trying to like. I already like spend too much on Ulta, and so I think I just placed an order because I had a little bit of because I bought it on my Ulta card. I know. But I was so close to Diamond. I was like $35 away from Diamond. So I just placed it. I bought like the Too Faced, the new peach setting spray. And I bought 2 packages of eyelash glue. So I was like, well, I'll just spend the $35 to get to platinum. And then I don't know. My goal, we'll see if I stick to it. My goal is to if make as few purchases from Ulta as possible. It would be great if I could make it the rest of the year not purchasing anything on Ulta. Now that I'm diamond through next year, then I'm like, if I could just like not purchase anything else from Ulta for the rest of the year, we'll see if it happens. I'm not gonna like press my luck. I don't know, but Sephora, I don't really buy much there. I bought like when the Hourglass holiday palettes come out. I didn't even buy that this year because I wanted a different color story. I bought the Swan color story, but I bought it in the Fox packaging because I like the Fox better. And so I didn't even buy that on Sephora. Like Hung Van Gogh, when that came out, I bought the Hung Van Gogh stuff. And I'm probably gonna have to buy the foundation at some point. I do want to try the foundation. Maybe I'll try some Marc Jacobs, but I haven't been Rouge for years. I don't even know if I've hit Beauty Insider this year because that's what like $350. I don't. Well, maybe I have. Did Hung Van Gogh come out this year or last year? I can't remember when it was. If Hung Van Gogh came out this year, then I'm VIB because I know I spent quite a bit on that. But I think I was diamond for 3 years. Now I'm platinum, and that's fine. Yeah, and Ulta, I always end up being diamond because I also buy a lot of skincare stuff through there. So that's really what kind of pushes it. And it used to be that and that's what used to keep me um, last year. Okay. So I'm probably not, I don't know if have I placed any orders from Sephora this year? I don't know if I have. Because I think the last stuff that I ordered from Sephora was, I'd have to check my order history to be sure, but I think Hung Van Gogh might have been the last stuff that I ordered from Sephora. So I might be at zero for Sephora so far. I'm the lowest at Sephora. I haven't ordered for years. So yeah. Ulta has better sales. They have better coupons. They have the better rewards program. So I just am like, I'm trying to divest from Sephora as much as possible. But every once in a while on Hourglass, those holiday palettes will pull me in. But now that you can order them on Hourglass and switch out the ones. So if the artwork matches the color story that I want, I'll usually try to buy it on Sephora because then at least I get points. The point system at Sephora is not great, but points is better than nothing from Hourglass. But if Hourglass is having a sale, then I buy it at Hourglass. So it kind of goes back and forth. But the only thing I really get are if I want anything from those brands that are kind of only at Sephora. But like Hung Van Gogh, I did order some stuff from his website because he had some website exclusives. And so yeah, I'm not like giving up on Sephora. There's no like boycott. There's nothing. I just don't like it as much. So I'm like, I try not to go there. Your haircut looks like that one Hitler had in his cameo in Family Guy. I didn't realize that Hitler had pink hair, but I do understand what you're saying about the shape. That I prefer to call it lesbian math teacher, but yes, National Geographic's YouTube. It does have some. And that is the cross that I bear. Let me just tell you, because I always talk about how I have the potato face. I'm a potato face serial killer because, like, this face, like, take away the pink hair. Yeah, look at when I gave myself 2 quarantine buzz cuts, it was not good. This is the face that you see in every serial killer documentary where they like find a bunch of bodies in the crawl space. Like, this is the face that comes out of the house. It's not good. It's not good. This is not. This is when I give myself a full like buzz cut. It's like the recruiting picture for white supremacy. Like, it's not good. It's not good. And so I recognize that that is a limitation that I have, and so that's why I like, I like to sometimes have pink hair. I like to wear my colorful gem t-shirts and things like that because this face is not doing me any favors. This face looks like a hate crime. Like, it just does. It just does. And so I'm constantly working against that. I don't like maggots will come up to me. Like, that's why I try to dress like a clown. That's why I'm a hooker clown. Because if I'm too like low key, if I've just got like a solid color t-shirt and jeans, sometimes maggots will just walk up to me and say like racist shit and think that I will like support them. And I'm just like, what is happening? It's awful. It's awful. That's why we sometimes go with fun colors. That's why I'm working this 1% pink that's left for all it's worth. I am working it out. I'm trying to do what I can because this face is just, and now like I always wear like big chunky glasses because that usually helps, except that this particular style looks a little bit like 1960s, like again, just like I was quiet. Like in the office, there was like he was a little bit weird. He was quiet, but we didn't think he would have murdered all them people. And like then they like lead me out in handcuffs. Like that's. Oh, I saw a good insult recently. Don't just stand there looking easy to draw. I like that. I like that. My favorite insult in the world is from Sleepaway Camp. Um, Jonathan Tiersten, may he rest in peace. He just passed away not too long ago. He played Angela's cousin Ricky, and there's a scene where all the guys are playing softball, and there's this older camper named Bill who is always picking on Ricky and picking on Angela or whatever. And so they're playing softball, and Ricky makes some smart ass comment or something, and Bill goes, "Eat shit and die, Ricky," and Ricky goes, "Eat shit and live, Bill." And I just love that. I just love that. Sorry, my nose is itching, and I just have to make it stop. There we go. Yeah, that just eat shit and live, Bill. That has always tickled me. Oh, but yeah, so that's what's going on. Trying to figure out how to approach this Victoria Jackson video, what it's going to be about. I also need to remember to take I'm about to go home pretty soon, and I need to remember to take my camera home because my camera generally lives in the office because this is where we film. But I edit at home on my computer, so I keep the like little connecting cord at home with my computer, and then the memory cards and the camera and the batteries stay here. So I just have to take the camera and one of the batteries home with the memory card that we used in it, and then transfer all the files and then bring it all back. So I need to do that tonight. I need to remember so that I can pull that stuff off. But Dawn reminded me I should probably, before I start working with all this new footage. Although with the new footage that I filmed, I did something dumb where most of the videos that I filmed, we need to film additional footage because there's a bunch of stuff with like my She-Ra Volume 2 and with my with my gem videos where we need to do some unboxing. So if you saw my unboxing the Palace of Gems, we set up over on just like a folding table with a white cardboard backdrop and we filmed kind of against that so we could get lots of close-ups and stuff. So we're going to do some of that with some of the toy stuff, but it means that like all those videos that I filmed, I can't even start editing them until I have done that additional filming day. I should have brought another soda over here. I'm starting to get dry and raspy, but maybe that's a clue that I should go home. We've been here for 46 minutes. It was a fun Saturday night hangout. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so don't forget this coming Wednesday is going to be metallic gold foundation with maybe some other metallic colors for Wacky Wednesday. And then Saturday, if you are in or around the Grand Forks area, don't forget that Micah and I will be doing brunch and bingo at the Empire Arts Center. We're going to have some fabulous or less prizes. You can win some theater tickets, some jewelry, maybe a couple Zonk prizes. We're going to have a good time. So it's drag, brunch, and bingo. And that is going to be next Saturday, the 25th. So that's going to be early. So I don't know if I'll pop on while I'm getting ready because the doors open at 11. I think the brunch starts at 11:30. Excuse me. And then drag and bingo will probably start about like 12:30. So I'm gonna have to like I'm gonna have to be here early. So I don't know if I'll come on live while I'm doing that. And I don't know if I'll record the look. Maybe I will, but I'm so behind on editing that maybe I won't. We'll see. But yeah. So you'll be in Grand Forks? Yeah, come have bingo with us, Don. It'll be a good time. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. Let me see if I remember my outro. Those of you who are in the chat, don't forget to circle back around once this becomes a video and leave a comment down below. Replay crew, we already know you rock. So leave your comments down below with your thoughts. While you are down there, don't forget to hit that thumbs up to tell me that you appreciated the video. Or if you are like, girl, what is that face? What is that face? Potato face serial killer. Go ahead and give me that thumbs down. It is all engagement. The algorithm isn't a picky bitch, and neither am I. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. Hit that bell icon and switch to all so you'll be notified every time I do a video or go live. I try really hard to make sure I have at least one video or live per week. And sometimes, if you're lucky, if you're very lucky, you might even get a bonus video. Ooh, potato face horrific. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads, all of my social media will be linked down in the description box below, including a link to my website, The World of Champagne at janessaj.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate all of you. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Dion and Grace and CJ and Dawn and Janet and Ellie Mae and let's see, there was Michael was here. Dawn is here. National Geographic, who said I had a Hitler haircut, but I mean, thanks for being here. It's engagement. CJ, can't forget about CJ and Kenzie, who with her 50 children, and that random guy that we blocked because he was a douche canoe. Anybody else? I hope I didn't miss anybody, but I scrolled for a while and I think I got everybody. I hope everybody's having a good night, and until I see you again. The awkward shutting down of the stream. Yes, I want to stop it. Okay, bye.